Are you going to come out anytime soon?
Yeah, no, I was waiting for the play on, like, the music.
Sorry, not in the budget.
Not in the... So I'm supposed to just come out here and introduce myself in silence.
Yeah?
Awesome. That's great. Loving it so far. Hey, you're going to edit this out, right? Hey, what's going on? I'm your host, Connor, and this is... Did we ever name this thing? Hey, what's going on? I'm your host, Connor, and this is Let's Talk Theater. I'm your host, Connor. It's not right. All right, look, I'm sorry, but I can't just stand here and pretend everything's cool. As you know, there is a global pandemic going on. And as a consequence, we have been forced to reacclimate in the face of this virulent adversity. So, this show is entirely devoted to you, our viewers. To our seasonal subscribers and loyal theater geeks, thank you for bearing with us, and we promise to give you the theater experience that you've come to expect from us. We are committed to the craft and humanity of theater, not only because it is our passion, but we know it is yours as well. And it's our honor to bring that to you in the comfort and safety of your own homes. Thank you. Now, I imagine we've all been diligently practicing social distancing, while our heroes in the front line tend to our most desperate and afflicted. Medical professionals ensure that our sick see another day. There's also the seldom spoken of unspoken hero. We have store clerks. We also have the food technician and the post office worker, just to name a few. Now, the struggle at home is rough, but can we compare our cozy struggle to theirs? Probably not. That being said, who's been keeping you entertained as we've been stuck at home for months on end? Well, we here at the entertainment industry would like to remind you that we're here for you. We are here for you always. We are here for you even when you don't realize it.
That sounds kind of creepy.
What? No, like ubiquitously.
That doesn't make it less creepy.
So ask yourself, I mean, realistically, what would you have done without Netflix or YouTube or music or even TV? What, would you have, like, learned a craft or, like, exercise or, what, bake bread with your mom? No, come on, of course not. So, who remembers Joe Exotic? Wasn't he an albeit strange but welcome distraction? Didn't cursing the name Carol Baskin, wasn't that enough to keep a smile on our faces? Oh man, I know it was for me. But do you even know the other people that worked on that documentary that's really just, let's face it, a reality TV show? The point we're trying to make is this. It's entertainers that are holding down the fort at home while our heroes are battling our day-to-day for us. Yes. Thank you, entertainers, for that endearing show of solidarity. You know, I would have done the same thing, but I left my yacht in my ivory tower, and I seem to have misplaced my keys. Look, what I'm trying to say is this, is as insufferable as entertainers can be, it is they who keep us entertained when we need it the most, and at this day and age, especially now, it's often. That being said, Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Cut?
What?
You can't say that.
Okay, so you can tell me what I can and can't say. Why don't you try something at home? Try going a full 24 hours without any form of media or entertainment. That means no music, no TV, no books. Just imagine that. Just imagine being forced to address the triviality of your own existence. Anyway, we got a great show for you lined up, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. And now to the reason we're here. The Renaissance or Renaissance is a period in time, but also used as a descriptor for any time something is overhauled and made new again, but in a better way. A rebirth, someone might say. Okay, so bear with me. You've heard his name before, and once you hear it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be like, ugh, this guy again? I mean, who cares anymore, am I right? Sort of, but just hear me out. William Shakespeare. The man lived in England from 1564 to 1616. He also wrote quite a few plays. 36 to be exact, but I might be wrong and I don't want to mess that up. 37. He also wrote a couple poems. I think they were called soliloquies. But we don't really care about that. We mostly care about his plays. Now, were they good? Mostly. Were they original? See, that's where it gets tricky. Did he actually write these plays? Or was he just a figurehead in an English aristocrat's dirty secret passion? We learned a lot about some interesting characters using the language, and to help us tell those stories, we invite my little sister, Janet. Now, I know, she's still in high school, but trust me, she knows her stuff. Why don't you tell us about the first emo, Janet?
So his dad was killed. His evil uncle then marries his mom, and his ghost dad tells him that his evil uncle killed him and that he'd like some revenge or something. So Hamlet hatches these schemes to try and get his evil uncle to confess, but instead, that results in the deaths of everyone around him, including him. And yeah, no one gets justice.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us about those two crazy kids, Romeo and Juliet?
13-year-old girl, 17-year-old guy fall in love, hormonal love. But their fans hate each other because of turf and stuff. But they're like, I don't care because I love him. And so they hatch these crazy plans, and that one results in the deaths of a few people, but also themselves.
All right, so why don't you tell us now, Janet, about those fairy people living in the woods? Something about it being in the midsummer?
Yeah, so there's a king and a queen named after Greek mythological figures, and some teens again that like each other, but one likes the other one, but that one doesn't like that one, right? So they go into the forest, and there's these fairies and their king and queen, which seem to be parallels to the other king and queen. Anyway, so they're fighting over some blue kid, and they get their fairy servants to mess with the hormonal teens. I agree, for fun, I think.
Yes,
and,
yes. All right. Thank you. We get the point, but well, not really. But yeah, I'm done with this. Thanks, Janet. Where'd she go? So as we just found out, these stories are pretty jam-packed with several plot lines. We're talking side plots, subplots. As a modern-day person of the future, how can I relate to such insane stories? Well, you see, it's not about relating to these stories as much as it is identifying the underlying issues. So, for example, a lot of these stories say, hey, don't do something dumb because people will die. You gotta understand, you may be asking yourself, why do these people say so much to say so little? And the thing about that is, they didn't have the things that we do. They didn't have all these aesthetic visual effects. They didn't have these Dolby digital surround, Michael Bay explosion. And they painted a picture with their words. People would sit and listen for 3 hours. I'm sorry, so what, if it's not in the form of some kind of tic-tac, you're not gonna listen? You want me to dance for you, do a little jig? I will tell you why we lost that attention span. Because of all these modern conveniences. So in this next segment that I just titled, You Were There, we have a great guest for us today. Now, he's the great colossal literary figure of the time period we were talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to the stage Mr. William
Nope.
Shakespeare.
No, we couldn't get him. We got Christopher Marley.
This always happens.
Who's that? Chris Marlowe. Yes, Chris Marlowe. Thank you.
They call me Kit, not Chris. And I'm sorry I'm not Will Shakes. I'm sorry I was killed at a bar brawl at 29 years of age. Because if I hadn't, it would have been me they'd be singing about. It would have been me out there.
Sorry, man. I didn't know. Things are kind of rough all over.
No one ever knows. No one knows that I brought iambic pentameter to the stage. My mighty line, Marlowe's mighty line.
Oh, okay, so you're just not going to tell us what you wrote?
The Jew of Malta, Tamburlaine, Dr. Faustus, the tragical history of Dr. Fricking Faustus. Come on! Because of me, there's a term for people who sell their souls to the devil. Faust? A Faust?
Okay, so right now I'm drawing a
I'm
blank
out of here. I don't need this.
Kit Marlowe, everyone. Well, I hope you had a good time because, well, I know I did. But let's wrap it up. So today we learned about Willie Shakes. He wrote 37 plays, not 36. And despite being a prolific writer of timeless classics now, theater back then was considered a low and scummy art form. And my sister Janet told us some wonderful stories. And that one guy, his name-
Marlowe, you rank onion-eyed miscreant.
Sorry, Kit Marlowe. Essentially, we covered why theater matters and how the classic works of Shakespeare are still relevant today. Classic works like Othello, Taming of the Shrew, Romeo and Juliet, and the Scottish play, Macbeth. Thank you. In regards to artists, seldom do we appreciate the initial risk that these individuals take. In the beginning of their journey, they're often met with naysayers, haters, if you will. So, if you know one of these individuals and you want to urge them to pursue a more profitable career, a safer choice, as well-intentioned as you are, don't. Encourage them. And if you can't bring yourself to do that, then just leave them alone. Because for all we know, they could be the next Tiger King. Bad example. William Shakespeare. Thank you. That's our show. Stay safe. And until next time.
Next time!